Okay, alright, so I've got my second win going, so I'm gonna let you guys know right now, we did not read House and Powers of X. There were just too many of you missing, so I didn't want you guys to miss that, so we're gonna be reading it next Monday. But suffice it to say, we read Marvel Zombies instead. We read issues number 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go over those. The reason why we were able to read through so many of these as quickly as we could is because Marvel Zombies isn't really meant to be taken seriously. It's just meant to make you laugh and to disturb you. So we start with Magneto. This is where the comic first starts. And as you can see here, Magneto's like, it worked. The machine's been destroyed. It ends here. Those monsters are trapped in this dimension. Basically, what happened was, and this hasn't been established yet, but basically, um, they had a device that allowed them to travel to another universe, but they realized that if they travel to another universe, someone would need to stay behind to basically destroy the portal. So the zombies don't figure it out, and that's exactly what happened here. They destroyed the means in which the zombies could escape to another universe. So these zombies. Now, right away, as you can see straight from Daredevil here, that these zombies vary differently from the zombies that you're normally used to. I should also point out this is written by Robert Kirkman. If you're not familiar with Robert Kirkman, he's the guy who wrote the Walking Dead comic books. He also wrote Invincible. Um, so as you can see here with Daredevil, the zombies are actually intelligent, and they do retain their powers. As you can see, Angel is flying and Giant Man is in his giant form, but the zombies, they retain their intelligence basically. So Magneto, he fights them and stuff like that. And you can see right away that this comic is very gratuitous. Um, like Shang-Chi, he's dead. Like Nova, he's got some holes in him. Thor's got some holes in him. Daredevil's got a big whole thing inside of him now and stuff like that. And he takes Captain America's shield, he rips off part of his head with it and whatnot. And like you can see, he's pissed. Another thing I want to point out as well is that this universe varies a little differently from the universe that you normally know. For example, in this universe, Steve is not Captain America, he's Colonel America. Like you might see that as we continue here. You also see as well that the heroes, despite retaining their superpowers, they are not able to heal from their damages. But not only that, you'll also see that they're not concerned about, like, the heroes in here are not concerned about bodily harm. It's more like oh man, like here, Peter's leg is broken and he's like, oh well. And Captain America, he just had half of his head sliced off and he's like, oh, I'm pissed now. Like, they're not really concerned about bodily harm that happens to them. They don't feel pain, but they also don't seem to care about when they lose a body part. Okay, Magneto was able to escape from these guys momentarily, and he received a communication from his acolytes on Asteroid M. Asteroid M being like a safe haven that Magneto had made for mutant kind. But basically, Magneto, he's tired. He's been put through the ringer and stuff. He needs to try to escape. So he tries to escape through a manhole, but he's spotted by Hawkeye. So Hawkeye alerts all the other heroes to him, and as you can see right there, Magneto kills Hawkeye. Then the heroes come, and Magneto is able to like kind of like screw the heroes over and stuff like that. And he's all like confident and stuff, but as you can see in the bottom left corner, Wasp flies over to him, and she just takes a chunk out of his neck and stuff, and he Magneto's done. Like he's like, ah, man, you just bit my neck, right? Like if a zombie bites you and stuff, then they don't eat you, like you just turn into a zombie, right? So and you'll see as well, right? Like I mean, like look at this, like this is like were you expecting this? Probably not. You'll also see that the heroes, even though they are, I keep calling them heroes, and obviously they're not heroes anymore. You'll see that their thought process has changed, right? Like they pontificate on stuff. So like as they're talking and like they're theorizing about their predicament, they see somebody flying around, and obviously they see that it's the Silver Surfer. at this moment in the comics, Silver Surfer has not been to Earth yet. So for him, Silver Surfer is arriving here for the first time. Now, if you guys know anything about Silver Surfer, you should know that his job prior to him being turned prior to him rebelling, his job used to be to fly through space and find suitable planets for Galactus to devour. So that's why he's here on Earth. So we jump into issue number two, uh, and while they did see him, unfortunately, the Silver Surfer flies too fast. Um, so the heroes, they're like, oh man, well we're gonna have to meet up with the rest of the heroes. So they say to Angel and like the rest, hey, you guys go and liaison with Iron Man, lie and tell them that Magneto was killed in a gas explosion and whatnot, and don't let him know that we ate him and stuff. And meanwhile, Hank he wants to go and find his wife. He said in another panel how if him and Janet shrink down, that they'll be able to like feast on Magneto for like a whole week and stuff. Uh, so now you can see Wasp in the bottom right corner, but Giant Man can't see her here. So like he's shrinking down and he makes his way to like a laboratory where you can see in the bottom right he's got like an IV bag right feeding into this this box thing. He opens up the box and it turns out it's like you got like T'Challa the Black Panther alive on a slab here, okay? Basically what's happened here is that prior to being turned into a zombie, Hank Pym knew what was happening to him, and he saw the effects of what the zombie plague was having on the heroes. So he decided to like keep a secret supply of fresh food, I guess, for himself, um, in the form of T'Challa. So he's keeping T'Challa alive so that he can cut off his body parts for food, basically. So he's doing this monologue, and like I don't know if you guys want to read it. I mean, feel free to pause and like read through it. But basically, he confesses to an unconscious T'Challa, saying how like he actually enjoys eating human flesh and stuff, and if he ever figured out a cure for the zombie plague, that he might still keep eating people. Unfortunately, he's discovered by Wanda. Why did I say Wanda? Like that's Janet. I'm tired. I'm so tired, guys. It's 1:19 a.m. in the morning. I'm so tired. Anyways, so Janet discovers that Hank is keeping a human from them and stuff, and she's gonna like tell everyone and stuff, and like she's like, "Why would you keep this a secret from me?" So Hank tells her, "You're a zombie. You're gonna just like eat the whole thing and not share. Like I'm rationing this for myself, basically." So um, basically she like what Wasp wants is she wants Hank to share, and he's like, "Nah, man." And she's like, "If you don't share, I'm gonna share your secret with everybody." And he's like, "I'm not gonna let you do that, bitch." So what does he do? He does the only rational thing. He bites her head off and then he spits her out. Here it's revealed that it's revealed like if you read like the other comics, which we haven't gotten to yet, it's revealed that the zombies don't really eat each other because they taste disgusting. So he bites her head off, spits her out. He's like, "Oh man, that was disgusting. It's terrible. That's why we don't eat each other." Meanwhile, we go to the other heroes and they're meeting up with Tony. As you can see here, they're at Times Square in New York and there's like a lot of heroes. It's kind of revealed here that the basically like all the zombies here have basically scoured the whole globe and they've eaten most of like all of the humans basically. There's like no humans left on Earth. Um, and they're just like looking for like anyone they can feast their teeth on, right? So Colonel America explains the situation to Tony, and Tony's like, "Oh, hey, listen, you don't need to lie to me. I already know that you guys ate Magneto, but don't worry, I would have done the same thing." Uh, so right here, Tony's saying how like there's definitely like no way that they're gonna be able to sustain sustain a food supply with this many heroes. So Tony's saying how like they should like go into like smaller groups and just like kind of like vanish basically, just like go and find fresh like food somewhere else, but like smaller numbers, so that way it lasts longer. So like he comes up with this idea, and then that's when Tony sees Silver Surfer, and they're like, and Silver Surfer he kind of like states his intentions here and whatnot, and he's like, hey man, listen, like there's barely anyone on this planet. Like I see you guys here and stuff, and like I know you guys are alive. He thinks they're alive, anyways. And he's like, I'm gonna summon Galactus. He's gonna come and eat this planet. Like I'm sorry, but hey, they take solace that your lives will sustain Galactus. And then Tony's like, whatever, man. Let's go. Let's get him. Basically, you know. So that was the end of issue number 2. So going to issue number 3, you see Silver Surfer, and he's just like decimating these guys. Basically, he's like, I'm killing each and every one of you guys. Like you guys got nothing on me. You can see Tony tries to take a bite out of him, but he can't because the Silver Surfer is made out of silver and stuff, you know. So like or whatever. Like as you can see, Tony's like going back to what I was saying before, how they don't care about the damage they sustain. I mean, like you can see playing here, Tony just got like his lower half just like blown off. He doesn't seem to care whatsoever, right? But anyways, as it stands, Silver Surfer he's just killing everybody here, right? And he's like, oh, I see what happened. Like you guys are evil. You've devoured your whole planet. So Thor, comes in with his hammer. Now you'll notice that his hammer is broken. That's because it's not Mjolnir. He just picked up a piece of concrete and used it as a hammer. The reason why is because in his zombie form, he's no longer worthy of the hammer. So Thor was the only one here who was basically able to like knock Silver Surfer off of his surfboard. Um, and Silver Surfer on the ground, he's still like kicking ass and stuff. Like they can't really stop him pretty much. That's when Hulk comes in, right? And Hulk's like, hey, like I'm the strongest there is, so I deserve to have the Silver Surfer. So he takes Silver Surfer, he prevents him from leaving, and then he actually bites Silver Surfer's head off. And then like you have some heroes coming in here. I should point out as well. I know you can see in like the bottom right corner here, giant hand over Iron Man and Spider Man. That's Giant Man. Basically, Giant Man he was watching the whole fight take place, and he saw Silver Surfer was kicking their asses. So Giant Man's like, oh man, I'm gonna stay out of this fight and see how it goes. So this is Giant Man now like making his move. He's like, all right, yeah, he's dead, guys, we did it. So anyways, the her- the heroes have successfully been able to defeat the Silver Surfer, and they're eating on him and stuff. So you have the main heroes that we've pretty much seen from the start. They're the ones who are eating Silver Surfer, and you can see here that after eating him, that they were able to like gain superpower, like not superpowers, like they already have superpowers, but they're able to gain the power cosmic, the power that the Silver Surfer has. So anyone who ate the Silver Surfer has access to his powers. All right. So what these guys start doing is they start like killing their allies here for a couple reasons. The first, because there's not enough food to go around, I guess, right? That's the first reason. But the second reason, they want to see, and I'm not even joking. Like what Hank says here is accurate. They want to see if zombies taste better if you cook them with the power cosmic, basically. So yeah, that's that. Meanwhile, what you have here is T'Challa woke up because um, he was able to like not, I don't want to say break free. Like the Wasp helped him get away, but basically like he's just like kind of like like you can see here he's not looking good for Black Panther, right? Um, so he doesn't know what he's gonna do. Like there's not a heck of a whole lot he can do here, right? Um, and like from here we start to like learn a little bit more about like the zombie outbreak that's happening here. uh, I know I glanced over it, but like some of the things that like the zombies were talking about were how they were able to retain their intelligence, but like you have Captain America who's missing half of his brain. and he's able to retain his intelligence despite that. Um, but you also see like Iron Man, for example, not being able to remember things the hungrier he gets, basically. So um, as you can see in this image, right, Wasp, she wants a little bit of Black Panther, right? But like she can't, her body doesn't work anymore, right? Like if she nibbles a piece of Black Panther, like it's not gonna go anywhere, right? So why she has this need to eat despite not having a body is perplexing, but it's actually an incredibly important detail in the story as we continue reading it. Okay, but anyways, Black Panther is discovered by Magneto's acolytes who actually came down looking for him. So, in essence, Black Panther's basically been saved. Um, Meanwhile, you have the heroes. You know, they've finished killing off all the other heroes, and then you have Colonel America, and he's like, "Hey, yo, we shouldn't have killed those guys. We could have used their help." And then you got Giant Man, and he's like, "Help with what?" And then Colonel America's pointing, and then what you see is you see Galactus, and Galactus like, "Yo, man, like, where's my Herald? I'm very hungry and stuff, but I need to know where my Herald is." And then like they tell him, "Oh, we ate him," and whatnot, right? And then Galactus is pissed. He's like, "Yo, what? What the?" He's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, and then like you have Giant Man. He's like, "Yeah, we're still hungry." As you can see, like they still have the power cosmic and stuff. So we're gonna see the Marvel Zombies versus Galactus. That's the end, guys. This is all the comics we read tonight. So anyway, we'll read House and Powers of X next week. But you guys take care, all right? All right, peace.